Mhm.
I think
Okay.
we're a little bit low on the frame. You want to
Yeah.
have us?
More of our heads.
There you go.
I'll start here, then I'll move over and you can slide in.
Oh, that's good.
I'll just start dancing a little bit. Maybe I can stand up and you do it like this. And there we go. And then you can move it down once you sit down. I'll just start off.
Or maybe I'll just kind of lift this a little bit.
Start that.
Yes.
That's a little
There
better.
you go.
That's a little better.
Oh. Thank you.
You're live.
Oh, holla, holla,
You're live.
say, build it, sound money. Hey there, guys, it's Ugly Old Goat, and I've got a special guest and friend, Juan Galt, who flew in especially from Bogota, Colombia. He's going to be spending some time here in Mexico and also the United States. We're both going to be at Unconfiscatable, and man, I can't believe that thing's not sold out. If you haven't got a ticket, get a ticket now because it's going to be incredible. And the reason we're having this show, this isn't about technicals or fundamentals or anything. This is about Bitcoin and the Bitcoin standard and being a Bitcoin standard bearer. And I'm going to take off this mask because I do better without it. But here goes. Here's the real ugly. So what we're really excited about is the recipient of this year's Bitcoin Standard Bearer is going to be Tyler Jenks. And it really wasn't originally supposed to be a posthumous award, but in this case it is because he's definitely the man that deserves it. And we're just excited that it could be made possible. Now, last year, the winner was Saifedean Ammous, and it was hands down, it was consensus. He wrote the book. He gave us the Bitcoin standard. He gave us the intellectual foundation to really go where we're going this year and where we're going to be going in the decades ahead. I got to put on a hat. I do love Bitcoin. So here's the deal. Just being a Bitcoin standard bearer is really not enough, okay? We want this to be like eventually the Nobel Prize of Bitcoin, and we want it to be a well sought after award. And so we also want to build a stipend. So they don't just get the staff, but they also get a stipend. And so the way that I came up with doing this is we're actually going to sell the staffs with Bitcoin where it's at now. It's about $10,000. So it's about we're going to sell them for about $1,500 for 1.5 Bitcoin. Now these cost me about $400 to make. So, and then we got to ship them and all that. So the most of this is going to be going for the stipend to the recipient. So this year I'm going to be taking, I've got 12 of them that I'll be taking to the conference. So if you want to get one, 0.15 Bitcoin, about $1,500. 2/3 of that 0.1 Bitcoin goes to the recipient as a stipend. And so this will go to Tyler Jenks Estate, and he deserves it. So that's the plan on this thing. And then if you buy one, you'll also be part of the nominating process in 2020, because we don't know who's going to win it next year, but you can be a part of that input. It's kind of like the Academy Awards. And so, if you go to our website, and can we go to the website, Eddie, and show them? I guess I can do it.
Here, I'll do it.
Yeah.
What website is this?
Just go to Ugly Old Goat. Go right to the front page of the website and scroll down, and we have a place where you can go. Hopefully, okay.
They're not seeing it yet.
Go. Well, he's got to find the website first. I'm just talking, so that's good. So we'll go get it. Okay, and you need to go home. All right, and then then you can scroll down and show them. Okay, let's share the screen so they can see it. Okay, if you go to the website, just scroll down, keep scrolling. There it is, and it says purchase here.
All right.
So you just click that, And there it shows a picture of the staff. Now this one is the one that I awarded to, I gave to Tone last year. It has a pointer on it. We're not going to make these anymore. This B is not, put it back on so they can see the model that we finally decided on is it lights up, but it doesn't have the pointer, and it'll have more lights in there. And actually, they're out. The maker is out there. He needed the prototype to make the 11 more that we have. But this one will be for sale. It has a pointer on it. The rest will not have a pointer. We decided pointers aren't really useful anymore because people are using these electronic screens, and so the laser never shows up on it.
Right.
So there's no point in having a pointer. So, but what happens is we want everybody that has one of these, Tyler was so excited last year at Unconfiscatable. He said, Ugly, this is such a great idea. I said, we need to build traditions.
Yeah.
Exactly, guys. We are the new standard. What you are writing history. I'm going to be out of this, I don't know when, next week, next year, hopefully I have 10 years left, but you guys aren't. I mean, one here, he's going to be he's going to far surpass anything I've ever done. And so are all you guys out there that are, are into this thing. We don't know which direction it's going, but we know that we are on the correct path and we have a solid standard and we have sound money. And we now have to learn to use it. So that's what this is about. Again, I mean, we realize most of you'd love to have one of these and you can't afford it. This is for people that successful entrepreneurs, people say, hey, yes, I want to do my bit to really support Bitcoin. And one way we want to do this is just not a award where they get a staff, but we want them to have a nice stipend because you know what? We appreciate what you guys have done to promote Bitcoin. And Tyler came up with so many cool words and things I never thought of, like not ready for prime time players. Just kind of cool stuff. He could identify it. He recognized that there's only one standard that's going to evolve from this thing, as F.I. Hayek does, as Saif Amos does. We're all in one mind. We might have a little in-house debates on certain issues, but we're all of one mind that Bitcoin is the standard. So you know what? If you're looking to support Bitcoin, if you made your substantial wealth by being a hodler in Bitcoin, this is a good cause to give it to. And you'll be part of the system that we're building to honor, future people that deserve the honor. So anyway, if you haven't seen the video, Juan Galt just did a fantastic video that explains money to the layman. And probably we could probably just,
we can show them what it is.
Right
Yeah,
now.
absolutely.
Do that because it's really a good video. I tweeted it out, and I'm just going to sit down and enjoy my
roll the video.
Yeah.
Should I play? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, before we do that, I just want to say, this Bitcoin standard bearer items, it's a great way to fundraise for Bitcoin development to contribute to the open source aspect of this industry, which is really important, right? We're all riding on this public technology, this kind of commons, so to speak. And so this is a
not
really
easy
great way.
making a living in Bitcoin.
It really isn't. Being an entrepreneur in Bitcoin is really, really hard.
Right.
And
we all have a side business.
yeah, we all have side hustles.
I have a full-time business that I make my income off of.
Yeah.
But anything that I make, off of Ugly Old Goat, it's not mine. It's yours.
Yeah.
And not all of the stuff that I do works.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
So but that's why Juan and I are here, we're kind of having a strategy meeting because he's got the talent. I just have, a little extra Bitcoin to throw away. And I'm kind of, and I knew some of these guys that were in the sound money movement long before Bitcoin came along. So I'm kind of grandfathered. They kind of have to let me in because, I got the credentials. They almost have to let me in. And I, hopefully I can contribute a little bit. So yeah, go ahead. This is really cool. We're
going to show you something real cool.
Eddie, why don't you sit down here and explain, because this is actually, we call it, look, I've done 11 years in the federal prison, and my help, or Eddie, he's done some time too. Yeah, this is really prison.
I haven't done time yet.
You're going there in Bitcoin.
Apparently.
So, but Eddie, sit down and talk to him. Tell him about this prison art and just how it works.
Wait, before do
Well,
that. Okay, we're gonna do it. Or
it
should
was
we just show the
actually- I
video
just kinda
first?
looked at it. Just by
All
right, just have a look
just
at
by
it.
the what is it? The
So this is the.
flip the meat.
You know what? I'm gonna show you a video first, and then we'll talk about the art. All right, let's see. I should be able to just play this here. Ding, 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 share. Can they hear this? Like if I roll this like this, can they hear it?
I'm pretty sure they can.
Yeah. Let us know if you guys can hear it. Otherwise, this is not gonna work. I'll post the link in the comments real quick. It's really low. All right, well, the link is on my YouTube channel. Hello, it's really, can't hear well. All right, let's just stop. I'm gonna share the video link. You put that in the comments,
yeah.
And I'll show you. So this is basically origami art that this Colombian Venezuelan guy is making. Stop the feed.
Okay,
Let's see. Yeah, this is origami art that this guy makes in Colombia, and this is made out of actual bolívares, out of actual Venezuelan money, and it just kind of struck me as amazing, right? That the money that they're making is so worthless that it's actually more useful as the materials for origami than it is as money. In fact, of all the things that I bought to bring to Unconfiscatable, there's like about $20 worth of actual, no, not even like, I think it was like $7 worth of monetary value in all the paper cash and all the bolívares that are used to make this stuff. And it's a lot of bills. Like it's really hundreds and hundreds of bills. And this is what can happen to fiat money, right? And I thought it was a really beautiful and stark reminder of why Bitcoin is important, right? And you know, and it's also just beautifully done. Like this is actually a pretty legit piece of art.
I kind of recognize the art because once I saw it, you know,
yeah,
like,
so,
hey, did you get that like from a guy who went to prison, right? We were talking about it.
The guy did go to prison.
Yeah,
So this
yeah.
is like
Actually, I
Venezuelan
seen this
prison,
in federal
origami
prison.
quality stuff.
Yeah. They actually make wallets. What was it? Purses.
Yeah.
They even made sandals one time. I seen that sandals, and they usually used to make them out of those instant cup noodles, but usually it wasn't a cup. It was actually those little bags, and then they take them up and cut them up, and they just made the design. So I kind of noticed because of the handiwork.
Yeah, I mean, so communists put this guy in prison. Who knows for what? Maybe he was, trading voluntarily with somebody, right? And they put him in prison. And that's where he learned this origami art that he's actually brought to Colombia now. And he talks about how like the crime got so bad in Venezuela that despite him loving the country, he said that Venezuela is like a country was a lifestyle of good wines and good food and parties and good company, and it was like a high life. He was living well. And then the collapse of the economy and of the currency led to a lot of crime, like really bad crime. And you've heard stuff, right? Like how many Venezuelans have been kidnapped and such, right? Like I've met some people that have gone through some really hard times there.
And that's something that
so
Bitcoiners we have to be aware of too, because it does happen, guys. And so there's a security issue of being a Bitcoin. Or, I do take somewhat of a risk.
General,
but I do. Those of us who are out there and actually, saying we're in Bitcoin, we are taking a physical risk, and we do try and do as much as we can to protect our family. And we've already made the commitment. If anyone kidnapped, I don't negotiate with them. No matter how bad it gets, and that's rough. But that's the way I've learned. I played that game in prison. With your stand up, you go. I don't care how big Bubba is. You go eyeball to eyeball with them. You might take your licks. But you're going to get some in too, and that they usually don't have.
That's the best deterrent there is.
Yes, and they don't usually have the. You just need to have kahunas. That's what it boils down to. So that's what this is all about. You want to show some of the other things you've got? So you're going to be selling these or have them available there?
Yeah, we're gonna have them. We're gonna have them at Unconfiscatable. There's a lot of cool things that this guy makes, and I did an interview which I'm gonna be publishing soon. This is, for example, a butterfly, a little paper butterfly, made with Fiat with Venezuelan bolivares. It's all handmade Venezuelan bolivares. So it's really pretty stuff. It's got some fish. He seems to like doing fish keychains, right? He's got a
Now,
little
this guy
eyeball
is
and
a
stuff.
Venezuelan.
So he's a Colombian that
Oh,
lived in Venezuela for about 40 years, and he was living the
okay.
high life. He was he was an artist and I think a fashion designer and such. And there's some purses and some wallets, right? So I have to bring the purses from upstairs, but like this is like a coin purse, right? And there's some wallets as well. So he got a lot of cool stuff. There's even this elephant that I had on the video, which you can find on my YouTube channel, Juan Galt on YouTube. And then we also got a bunch of Venezuelan bolivares if you all want some for nostalgic purposes.
What
This is
what
more
are the denominations? Just out of curiosity,
the-
what denomination?
yeah. So this one's 1,000 bolivares. I have one that's like 2 bolivares, and then I have one that's like 100,000 bolivares. Yeah, I'm showing it.
And how much is 100,000?
Nothing. It's all
Nothing.
worthless.
Not worth
It's
anything.
nothing. Yeah. There's like 3 generations of the currency now, apparently. So they've just started from scratch 3 times already, and it's still something like that, and it's still crap. Yeah. No, it's like, yeah, it's really, really bad. This one's 10,000. This was 10,000 bolivares. So I got a full array of bolivares. Nothing. Oh, back in the day, like I have a 100 bolivar that was it was worth $200. It was worth 200. It was worth about $70, I think, like 20 years ago. 20 years ago. And today it's just like pennies, right? It has more value as a reminder of how bad it can get, and as a memento, as a historical piece, than it does as money, or even as paper.
Yeah,
really.
Let's talk a little bit about the Unconfiscatable conference.
Sure.
And the reason I want to talk about it is I have rented a little suite. So the Goat Lady and I will be having a hospitality probably Wednesday night. We're going to arrive on Wednesday and we're going to leave on Saturday. Unfortunately, I will not be participating in the poker game, but all the other events I will be, because we need to leave Sunday and get back here Sunday night. We have we still have 3 children at home that go to school, and we can't be away too long.
Right.
So Juan's coming with us, and his wife Anastasia.
Share the webpage if you want.
Yeah, why don't you put up the web page?
Sure.
Let's go through some of the speakers. We will have a hospitality house. I will probably also have some kind of a workshop for members only. If you're coming to the Unconfiscatable, most of the attendees probably are not subscribers. So if they subscribe, then they can come to the workshop free. And that's basically that. It's a lifetime membership. And if you guys, and any of the events that I have, if you're a membership, I'm not charging for them. Maybe later on we will, but we're not going to do it now.
And it's a life membership, right?
Lifetime member, my life, not yours. Okay, so if when I die, it's gone unless the Goat Lady, game over unless the Goat Lady decides she wants to do something with it. But you know what? You guys need, if you haven't looked at this, you got to go. Because this is all-star. I mean, Tone Vade, he's the mentor. He's the guy. Yeah. He's the guy that had me sell all my Ethereum, I think, at $100 or $200. But we always laugh about that. Yeah. I mean, it only cost me maybe $2 million or something like that, But he did it for the right reasons. And then Jimmy Song, who, he's taught me so much, and so I'm always, on his case, and he's the one that says, the fact that Bitcoin has a fixed supply, that is a feature and not a bug. Yeah. And basically everything that Bitcoin is a feature, it's not a bug. And everybody that has an alternative, they have to relate it to Bitcoin, and that's why they all sell it as better than Bitcoin, which underlines, it just exposes them for what they are. Then Leah Wald, who used to be is related to Tyler Jenks, and also was very instrumental in the educational programs that Tyler was doing. Willie Woo, who the more I get to know him, and he is a fundamentalist and probably one of the best around. Saifedean, I don't need to, Saifedean is he's the award winner from last year.
Oh my
He
God.
wasn't going to come, originally. And then Tone kind of twisted his arm and says, he's got to come.
You got to come. Yeah.
Because you won the award last
Yeah,
year. Somebody's got to pass on the baton. And he's the only guy that can do it.
Yeah.
So.
And he's great. I just finished the book. It took me a while to get to it, but I finished it, and it's actually I think the best book I've read on Bitcoin.
Yeah, and the thing is,
just recommend.
and I can't find but I had all my book with all my notes, and I'm looking for. I can't find it, so I got to order one just that I haven't. Because I reviewed his book, and then I tried to be critical, and I was. I mean, we have little nuances where we're different, but it was such a well done book. And so I reviewed it and got a lot of hits on that review.
That's great.
And so
Max Kaiser. I mean, Max Kaiser's
he's the legend, man. He's been doing this.
Wait to meet him.
Yeah, a lot of people were into Max Kaiser, and he was one of the very first to be in Bitcoin, and he kind of lit the torch. I know he lit the torch for Tone, and then Stacey Herbert, his wife, and they do a great show together. Hey, you got Peter Todd, guys. This is a top developer.
He's a top guy. Yeah.
He started Bitcoin when he was 15 years old.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's ever been to school or not.
Yeah.
He's self-taught, and
he's self-taught. He's unschooled, and he's like a security researcher of top tier. I mean, he's Peter Todd.
And a very humble guy.
Yeah, and he's a great guy. He's just a great guy to hang out with. Very humble, very smart.
But we have not just one developer. We have two developers. You got Adam Back there.
Yeah, Adam Back. I don't know if he does active development anymore, but obviously he's one of the few people that Satoshi Nakamoto sourced on the Bitcoin white paper. He's the guy that invented Hashcash, which is what is used for proof of work, the actual proof of work mechanism. He invented it. You can't get more legendary than Adam Back, really.
Yeah. And this is a good time. You know what?
Yeah.
I need to promote the next thing, and that is Understanding Bitcoin, which is also put on by Tone Bays. And you know what? I'm not a speaker. I'm not going to be. I'm going to be going as a paid attendee. I'm going to pay full price to go, because this is where I'm taking to a whole new level. In fact, I'll be talking about things I really don't understand. Hey, Juan and I, we're not in the league of Peter Todd or Adam Back, and we don't even try to be, because that's not. We know that that's not our job. Our job is to try and make Bitcoin as simple to understand to the average Joe, the average entrepreneur who wants to learn how to utilize it practically. And that's what the Working Man's Bitcoin Cruise was all about. That's about what we're trying to do now. We've started a little website called Bitcoin Nation.
Bitcoinnation.org. Check it out.
It's been nothing but a money pit, but that's all right. We'll figure it out. We have other ideas that hopefully will. Some of these things, you have to subsidize for a long time before they fly. So we have to do things that we know work and make us money, and then a portion of that we can spend to try and
to make money.
You have to, in order to spend money, you have to make it first. So that's where we're at. So now I'm going to go into my next project. And again, hey, this project is something that you guys as subscribers have enabled. Okay. I'm just taking it. I'm just kind of the ugly old goat and making a fool out of myself. But I got to show you this.
It is going hard.
Okay. This is cool.
Based is a compliment, not profanity. What the hell, man?
Can you pull up that website briefly? Understanding Bitcoin, so they can see what this is modeled over.
Yeah, we're just sitting.
Because I got something I'm going to show you, but we need to go to Understanding Bitcoin first.
People are asking for TA. Are we bullish? He's asking for bullish.
Yeah, I'll go into that. You know what? Bitcoin. You take your pick. I'm not. I have no position on right now. You have to be bullish. All the trends say that it is, but we're not doing that. Maybe when we're all done here, I can do a little bit of analysis. You got to remember, guys, I was very bullish last year at Unconfiscatable, and I'm not so sure I will be this year. So everybody's bullish now.
Yeah.
and ugly old goat, I got no position on. So
just looking for the conference here, Understanding BitTC. There it is.
All right. I want you guys, you got it on there so we can share it?
Yeah, I'll get it.
Okay.
All right.
Hey, you see that shield up there? You see that beautiful shield? And what a wonderful statement.
It's
Whoever
a beautiful
the
graphic.
graphic designer, because that's exactly these Bitcoin developers, they only have one job.
Yeah.
They're not out trying to make a better Bitcoin or innovating new things. All they're trying to do is protect Bitcoin. So it's safe, so it's secure, so that no more can be created. So it's a fixed. This is the first time we've ever had anything that has
quite like that.
That has a fixed supply that is actually deflationary. I hate these people say, well, you know, because of mining, they call it Bitcoin has inflation. Bitcoin has no inflation.
It's
a fixed amount going to be, and a lot of those have been lost. And then, yeah, some of them, it's just a delayed production. That's all it is.
Delayed production. And one of the things that struck me in Safety Dean's Bitcoin Standard book is that it's not only fixed supply, it's such hard money that even during high demand for it, you can't manufacture it more efficiently. You can't invest capital into machinery and mine it faster as you can with gold. You know, in a high peak of demand for gold, because they're finding more.
Did you see this? Did you see that tweet by Whale Panda? He just tweeted out last couple of days. He showed, you know, when gold goes up, then production goes up. The mining goes up. They can get more gold. That's never going to happen with Bitcoin.
It can't happen with Bitcoin. Literally, the difficulty goes up when demand goes up. So you can always expect an average of 10-minute production time.
But I don't even think
Bitcoin.
mining is that important, because mining is going to be gone, and then we're just going to have this fixed supply. So it's all.
No, it's not going to be gone. Huh? No, mining can leave. It won't be gone.
Yeah.
No.
When it's all mined.
When it's all mined, but there'll still be transaction fees, right?
But that's not.
Yeah, it will be.
I don't know that will be done by mining.
It has to be done. I mean, as far as the current design, it has to be done. Like people, there is a proof of work competition. Yeah. There's a proof of work competition, but the reward is going to be transaction fees, and that's like in 120 years.
But most likely those. Again, I don't comprehend all the.
Sure.
But I don't see it as being. There's nothing to mine.
There's nothing to mine except the transaction fees. Like somebody has to earn the right to update the ledger.
Correct.
And the reward is going to be transaction fees, and that can only happen safely through a proof of work game.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. So
interesting.
That's be interesting to see.
Yeah, that's an interesting discussion.
I'm not going to be around for that, but you guys.
Me neither.
Okay.
Unless the great medicine continues to.
So, at any rate, let's go look. Show them that shield again, and then we're going to show them what's going on here.
That beautiful shield. Isn't that beautiful?
All right. Now
it is really pretty.
We are doing a design.
You want to look? Want to show them?
Yes, we're going to. Okay, here we go. This is understanding Bitcoin. The same principle and concept that we have for the Bitcoin Standard and Bitcoin Standard Bearer is we want to have an award for the Bitcoin Shield Bearer. And this is the prototype, guys. Can we turn off the lights? Because that actually does light up a little bit. Eddie, can you turn off the lights? Well, that's all right. But at any rate,
it's fine.
It's all right.
Yeah, it's fine.
This is just a prototype. It does, the beam is lit up.
Yeah, there's actual light in here.
Yeah. And this is rough, okay, because we want to imitate it. Can you turn that down the light so kind of the light shows up? Okay. And the turn off the other ones too, if you can.
Yeah. The lighting in this room is excellent.
Okay, so there we go. And we're gonna finish. Of course, what we're missing is we don't know who we're gonna award it to. But we want to do now. The one thing, and I talked to Tone. Tone kind of he said, "Yeah, I want to do the same thing for developers." But he says, "You know, these developers really don't get paid." I said, "Well, you're right." So what we really need to do, and he says, "I want the award to be unique." So this is going to be unique. We're not. This is one of a kind. Whoever wins, we're going to probably put. If you saw, we're going to finish this off, make it dark, and kind of make it more like it was on the,
handcrafted.
Yeah, this is all handcrafted.
Yeah.
So this is it, but we're going to make a much simpler design, and probably the same kind of a thing where we're going to sell it for people that want to support the developers. And so we want a bigger stipend for this than even for the Bitcoin Standard Bearers. That whoever wins this award every year, because we want to show them we appreciate you guys for shielding Bitcoin. We want this to be kind of the Nobel Prize for Bitcoin developers. So this is very rough. It's not finished yet. Again, I'll be taking it to the Understanding Bitcoin
UnderstandingBTC.com,
conference, right? And so you guys, if you're planning on going that, and I will give, we will have some kind of a shield for sale, and it's a fundraiser because the whoever is the recipient will not just get the shield, but they will also get a hopefully a sizable stipend. Because that, this got to go hand in hand. We have to support these guys, these developers. Now, some of them have owned a lot of Bitcoin, so they're wealthy in their own right. But there's quite a few developers that got in late. They
right, and they're getting in right now, right?
Yeah,
and
they're getting in right now.
Yeah. Do you have in mind, like, is there a specific charity group or like not charity, but like sort of organization that donates to Bitcoin developers?
No. We're going to give it to the recipient, whoever we awarded.
Got it.
And I had nothing to do with that decision making. I passed it on to, and Tone doesn't either. In fact, we're up in the air. Who are we going to award this?
Yeah, we're figuring it out.
And so we don't know, but we want to set it up, hopefully, in the right way. And we want it to be a substantial, and I mean, what we want is basically kind of a, we're all going to be around with our staves and our shields, and, we're going to be promoting and defending the Bitcoin standard, whatever that may be. Okay. And we there's an in-house debate on just what that is. I have my ideas. They're not akin with Safety and Ambush, and they're not mine are not in tune with Andre Antonopoulos either, and yet I still feel that all three of us are basically in the same camp.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing about Bitcoin, right? Like it's only successful if our enemies use it.
Exactly.
Otherwise, just a little club, right? Like with Bcash and other altcoins.
Exactly. The most successful thing about Bitcoin is the people that hate.
The people that you hate are using it.
People that hate us Bitcoin standard bearers, they still are using it. I don't know if you saw the tweet that I sent out. Somebody just sent me. I didn't realize it, but Jeffrey Epstein
was into Bitcoin.
The big Bitcoin promoter back in 2017. Which that'll be interesting to see how that pans out. I wrote an article, if you didn't see it, why the murder, and he was murdered, Jeffrey Epstein is actually bullish for Bitcoin. And it's bullish because what it does is it really exposes the corruption in government, and it will provide, I think, hope for major changes. And my belief is,
or plenty of cynicism and resistance, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that one of my differences with Saifedean is he kind of thinks Bitcoin has the potential of becoming the standard of the world, and I don't think that will happen. I think it will be a competing standard with governments, but I think what it will do is keep governments honest, and it will eventually and hopefully have our governments begin to compete to offer sound money, which can be done through the gold standard, which is why I'm also bullish on gold. I just watched a video with, who was it? Tyler Jenks, Socrates, and he's bullish on gold now, based on Consensio. And if you don't know what Consensio is, moving averages, okay, which are useful for trends, but it's a long-term situation. I mean, this is a good time to be buying gold.
Yeah, gold is probably going to move up. Yeah.
I mean,
look,
in the 1970s and 80s, we thought it was going to go to $6,000.
Oh, that's
and
exciting.
And it never went past 800, and it only went there for about 6 hours. It really went to about 600.
Yeah.
But now gold can definitely go to $6,000 or higher.
Maybe, yeah. It's going to be interesting. I mean, Trump's being reelected, and that's going to have an impact, and he's definitely going to do everything he can to make sure the economy doesn't collapse under his reign. So, it's always, that's the thing with American elections is like no president wants to let that hot potato drop, So, but I guess we'll see.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
It's setting up that will happen, but probably late in his
late in his
second term.
I mean, I think it's gonna be something like that. Like I don't, so many countries that I visited are so heavy on cash, especially in Latin America.
Really?
They're very cash heavy. Yeah, Colombia is very cash heavy. Mexico is very cash heavy. Pretty much all of Latin America is cash heavy.
By cash, what do you mean?
Well, people depend on cash. Like payment processors are not as wide reaching, and especially like like, yeah, okay, in the main cities, everybody accepts debit card. But if you're in any town that's not, like if you're smaller towns, basically the smaller the town, the more likely
Well,
it's
you
gonna
know,
be
the
cash.
United States is too.
Yeah, it's very
They,
cash
they
heavy.
did,
Yeah.
they did a study, and I published it in one of the
Yeah.
newsletters that said that it is cash heavy. It still does. There's more cash transactions than our credit card,
Right.
debit card transaction, and
Yeah,
now it's growing.
Yeah, yeah.
It is growing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean,
Yeah. So I think what Bitcoin can do is crack this sort of monopoly on price that the countries, the fiat currencies have, where they also devalue the currencies more or less at the same time. So it's just like, you know, everybody's, it's like a race to the bottom type of thing. I think Bitcoin can probably crack that and make them, you know, we might be seeing, you know, fiat currencies pegged to Bitcoin in the next 20 years, something like that, 30 years maybe, right?
yeah. Let's go back to Unconfiscatable, because
Sure.
we need to sell out Sunday's conference.
I
okay?
agree. Yeah.
And
It's
if
the best
if-
conference in the next few months. I mean,
And hey,
really,
guys, if
the-
you're
the-
going to sign up for the conference, go to bitcoinnation.org to sign
Mhm.
up, because we
right.
have promoted it with my other primary business is voice broadcasting. So we made maybe 1 million calls to businesses promoting this conference, and it hasn't been successful, but hey, you know what? We want to show them that we can promote these things, because this should have been sold out
That's right.
2 months ago. So there it is.
Yeah.
And then the conference, just hit the
Yeah. Go to the
conference
conference
button,
here,
and then
we're
and it takes you right there why you should go.
Mhm.
And that's
Right,
where you
take you
can
right
watch
here.
watch the great video by Juan
Mhm. Oh, yeah, that's right. You can find the video here.
right there.
And bonus, we have a little PDF here that we put together in the past few weeks. If you sign up, we'll send you a PDF that has basically all you need to know to start with Bitcoin and get a really good grip on Bitcoin. to start
That's
with.
what the vision of this
So,
website is.
yeah.
What we really want to do is have a one place to go that for people to go, a get started page, and then even the more advanced, because there's a lot of other good websites out there, but nothing's combined, it's all disjointed. But it's, you know,
Yeah.
we thought this thing would be an easy project to do, and the more we got into it, man,
Mhm.
this is hard. You know, it's kind of
A lot of
where we are.
decisions need to be made,
Curators of, you know, if you can say, well, I'm going to promote, what do you curate? And
Yeah.
Juan came up with that vision. He says, well, what we really are is we're curators. I said,
Mhm.
yeah, that's what we are. We're not,
Mhm.
all we're doing is selecting
Yeah.
what, you know, and we're going to make mistakes, but hopefully 85 to 90% of the stuff that we are linking you to is going to be good stuff.
Yeah. And obviously, any suggestions you guys have, any input that you have, send it to us, and we'll consider it and integrate it. You know,
somehow
Right now-
I'd like to,
yeah.
you know, figure out a referral bonus, but I don't know how
Sure.
to do it because we're not making any
Yeah.
money at it.
Yeah, we're not making any money yet, so there's no money to share yet. But I mean, we have some affiliate links here and stuff. These are products that we think are great products, right? Obviously, BitMEX Cold Card is an excellent hardware wallet. Trezor is an excellent hardware wallet. Cash App is the best on ramp to Bitcoin that we've sort of seen right now in the United States. And then we have Bitcoin conferences here, local Bitcoin meetups and books and such. So we're slowly building this website into a hub of the best that the industry has to offer. And that includes an ebook that you can get here, which has the best documentaries, best books, best Bitcoin wallets, and a lot more. And we're gonna be adding a lot more to this website. So stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned. Let's go back to the conference and go
Sure.
through the rest of the speakers.
Yeah, absolutely. So we were. There's a couple of there's workshops. Giacomo is going to be doing a Bitcoin security.
That's one of my favorite
workshop.
guys. This guy
He's
is
excellent.
hilarious.
Yeah, he's so funny. I like to call him guacamole.
Yeah,
or
guacamole. That's what I
Guacomo.
call him. Guacamole. I tell you what, he's got the best sense of humor, and
Yeah.
he's created more. People hate him more than anyone else because he has too much fun.
He does
You
have
know,
a lot of fun.
if-
Yeah, he has too much fun.
If you're having fun, you know, criticizing, exposing the opposition, they hate you for it because they try and put. Well, in fact, that was the headline, that he's just full of hate. You know?
Oh yeah. Yeah, Como's
And you're just gonna laugh at that because if you know guacamole, he is not full of hate.
he's a hateful
he
avocado.
really puts out some good stuff.
He's
We haven't
great.
got to
I'm a
him
fan.
yet. Let's go.
What's up, Ninja Grasshopper and Mr. Edward Park? Nice to have you guys. Also, JC, a brother, and there's a few other folks that have said hi. Good to have you all. And they're
You
just
can
kind of
scroll up
saying things and
okay.
stuff.
Yeah, guys, we're trying to watch the comment. This is really off the cuff. So, okay, we were at Adam Back, Trace
Yeah,
Mayer.
Trace Mayer.
Okay, if you haven't
Yeah.
heard of the Trace Mayer model, then
Yeah. The guy invented them. It's one of the best ways to predict what's going to happen in Bitcoin.
I think they named it after him. I don't think he invented it. Did
Well,
he
he invented it.
Did he invent it?
But,
Okay.
and then somebody turned it into like formalized it.
Okay.
I think it's something with the 200-day moving average,
Right.
And being above it or below.
Right, and it's just basically it helps
Yeah,
you
and
to
he's
buy.
been using it for years.
Yeah,
Like,
it's a way to guide you to buy a little heavier when it's down low, which is hard to do.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Because but that's what you have to do. But that's what dollar cost averaging automatically does that to you.
Right.
Use a fixed amount.
Yeah,
You're, by definition, you're going to be buying more at lower prices and higher prices, and that's why it works.
Yeah,
I don't
Willy
know.
Woo has a great chart on that, by the way, on his website. Willy Woo's got like the best charts.
Oh yeah. Well, there's a website now that you can actually plug in what
the dollar cost averaging.
Yeah, that's a great one. We need to put that on Bitcoin Nation because you can put in. Well, what happens if I? Yeah, because you put in like $10 a day here. Wow, it's cool.
Yeah, it's great.
I don't know who
Mira is actually Giacomo's wife, and she's an evangelist as far as I can tell. She's doing a lot of good stuff. Apparently, Satoshi Design is a thing. It's Giacomo's wife. I'm pretty sure.
Well, I met her then. I didn't.
Yeah, she's cool. I haven't met her in real life. Either, but she's on Twitter.
I met her in real life, but I'm sorry, Mira.
All good.
But Giacomo Zucco, he's great. Last time I saw him was at the blockchain cruise at the debate, the
Roger Ver
shitstorm.
That was wonderful.
Okay. Peter McCormick, he does these podcasts.
Yeah, he's killing it. He's bringing a lot of people in and doing an excellent job with podcasts.
Dan Held, I know him. I think I've mentioned. He wrote something I didn't like once, and I kind of. But he, you probably know more about him than I do.
I haven't met him in real life. I've seen him on Twitter a lot. He's definitely a great Twitter personality. He's got some great tweets. Yeah, he works with Kraken Forex, and director of business development at Kraken. So if you want to make Kraken business, go to Dan Held. He's cool.
I need to start doing some more business with Kraken.
Kraken is interesting. Yeah,
and my problem is I haven't bought any Bitcoin probably for years.
Right.
Probably since. I haven't bought any.
You're a trader.
I'm a trader. I haven't had to, but I know I probably haven't bought it. Probably the last time I bought Bitcoin was 2016. Mm-hmm. I mean, I sell it all the time. But
if you can earn Bitcoin or trade, earn it in whatever way, you're better off than buying it. But if you're going to buy it, Kraken's it's a fine way to do it. They've never been hacked to my knowledge and to public knowledge. If they have, they kept it in their wraps and nobody lost money.
Okay, Colleen Sullivan. Do you know her?
No. Oh, Colin Sullivan.
Okay, so we better keep
CEO of CMT Digital. I'm sure she's great.
Okay.
John Naranjarea. So there's a few people that I don't know that I'm excited.
John Dilly, I know he's a developer. I know I've put. He was the one that.
Mempool Partners.
He hands down, and I wrote a whole article about it on Medium. It's called Ethereum is Evil, because he called it out as being evil and why. Wow. So yeah, it was pretty harsh, but pretty good. And then Alex Mascioli, I don't know.
Quanta Q. Don't know him.
Okay. Adela Toulon, she is a
crypto lawyer.
Okay. She just recently got her law degree. I think this last year. She's been going to law school, so she's kind of that's all she is. She's great. She kind of got her law degree, I think, because of Bitcoin, because she saw the opportunity.
Oh, there's a huge opportunity and need.
Yeah, I keep saying that. I have an attorney friend. I said, look, you need to learn Bitcoin. It's the same with accountants. Accountants need to learn Bitcoin. If you're an accountant or you're an attorney, you're missing out on an opportunity, because those of us who are in it are going to need your expertise, to get around, not get around, but to comply with and regulations and pay our taxes. But we only want to, pay what we owe, and the best way, and we want to pay the least amount possible, and not what they're trying to clip from us. So,
well, anybody that's a high levels of wealth are doing the same thing, right? So we just need to bring some good accountants into the game.
All right, Jack Mallers.
He's one of the top Lightning developers. He created something called Lightning Strike recently, which is it's really interesting. You might find this interesting. It's a way of transferring dollars, for example, across I guess the United States. They're starting in beta in the United States, but they're using Lightning Bitcoin and the Lightning Network as the rails, right? So you send the dollar, it gets flipped in the back end in a split second, and it gets delivered at the other end as a dollar.
Okay.
So they're using Bitcoin as
So
the
it's
rail.
kind of like the $10 or something like that, or
It's not a Tether dollar. It's
dollar.
centralized, but it's using Bitcoin and the Lightning Network as the settlement layer for the transaction. And then they're using it's a combination between like the Chase Bank API and the Lightning Network. So you basically, if you want to send a dollar, you take out your Strike wallet, and then you scan a QR code and you send, and it arrives as a Lightning payment would arrive, but it arrives denominated in dollars, and it moves to a bank account. So
okay.
I mean, it's really interesting. You guys definitely got to check, follow Jack Mahlers if you're interested in Lightning stuff. He's one of the top.
Ugly
kids.
old goat. Who's that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
He's ugly.
And who would want to go see an ugly goat anyway? NBK.
Noble Grats. Yeah. So this guy is the developer of Cold Card. He's the founder of Cold Card, CoinKite, who's one of the most interesting hardware wallets in the space right now. They're sending me one, so we're going to be doing
I've got some upstairs.
Really?
Yeah, but I don't know how to use them, so
I can help.
Okay.
Hopefully, I can help.
I bought it some, and I got some upstairs.
Oh, that's excellent. We'll do some reviews of that and stuff.
All right.
And put it up.
And then Jan Capek.
This guy works with Slush Pool. Slush Pool is the first mining pool. Fun fact. And yeah, this guy's created the first mining pool, and it had a pivotal role during the Big Cash Wars and the fork. They were the first mining pool to say, you know what, we're not gonna support this fork. This is a bad fork. And they stepped back, and they basically brought it from like a 95% miner approval to like 70-something%. They brought it down because they're a big mining pool, which cracked their narrative, and well, it's history from there.
Okay, now we got this thing, the Bitcoin Law Review Army. Is my good friend Billy Rustis in there? I can't see if he's a picture of him is there or not.
King George III.
I don't know. I have to ask. Anyway, guys.
Max Bonnet, how you doing?
All right. So anyway, that's the deal. And I will be participating in the pinball tournament.
That sounds fun.
And, you know, I'm an old guy. I am deaf, dumb, and blind, so I should win this thing. I had a pinball machine when I was a child.
Just channel the force.
And that's all it is, man, because I have the force.
You have the force.
I have the force, even though my fingers don't work, and I got this one finger that does nothing but point and gets in my way. It's all in you got to know how to push without going into tilt.
Okay.
And
I'm
but
excited.
it's mainly finesse. So it's gonna be. I should be up there, you know. And again, last year I was in the poker competition. Really not my forte or bailiwick. And I kind of wish I could do it, but it's going to be Sunday, and we have to start going back on Sunday. So, but we will be there on Wednesday. I will, if you are a member. When we get there, hopefully we'll probably bring up maybe some Mexican wine and cheese, and we'll see how big that suite is I have. And maybe Wednesday night we can invite all of the members to a little hospitality thing. And apparently
high production.
And I'm going to tell you this too, guys. There's going to be a lot of people there that, you know, they're paying their own way and bought tickets. And Juan Galt is one. He is an expert in Bitcoin. There's going to be so much going on here. You just got to go.
I'm actually going to be doing interviews. So I got a press pass. I'll be working with World Crypto Network and Thomas Hahn to do a bunch of interviews. And yeah.
I'm so glad
we got Phone Huddle there too.
Phone Huddle's going to be there. Huddle. I should wear my Huddle hat. The guy that has the hat.
Huddle's cool.
Yeah, he's going to be there. Victor Villacana is going to be there, and we'll be on the Equity app. So we'll be working on that. I mean,
the app is very, very interesting.
Yeah, it is. I mean, and guys, one reason Juan is here is we're trying to figure out what we're going to do. For some reason, I met Juan way back when. I don't know if I met you first at
a BitConf in Bogota.
Well, I was there, but I think I met you. Were you at the Anarchapulco?
Yeah.
Okay, that's probably where I first met you.
Yeah,
I remember you, and you probably don't remember me because I was at the one that was in. Yeah, they're all in Anarchapulco.
It's happening right now too.
Oh, it is.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
is. Okay. Yeah. I kind of given up on that
Me
one.
too. I'm not going.
So, you know, you guys, you just kind of got a little too far off base.
Mm.
But, you know, it was fun and exciting the time that we went. So, anyway, that's where we met. And, you know, I've got this, you know, we're just having a strategy session. We don't know. He says, you know, we need to go buy a whiteboard and figure out what we're going to do. I have some ideas. You know, I want to teach. I got the name. I told you that. I got the name Bitcoin Standard Academy, because we can literally, because I've had a lot of you guys, you want a trading academy.
Mhm.
And I said, that's only part of it. You know, what I teach, and I teaching you hodl. Okay. And you don't want to trade if you're hodling, because you need to build that hodl. And then you have the save. Okay. Now tomorrow is Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Right. So we need to do something nice for the ladies in
Yes,
our
we do.
lives. And so that's what save is. You reward yourself. We got to figure out what we're going to do. And then we have build a.
Mhm.
And build a is what we're trying to do, developing on the Bitcoin standard. And not all of it's going to work. You got to remember, guys, you know, 90% of businesses fail in the first year.
Wow.
It's hard. Business is hard,
It is
but it
hard.
doesn't mean you give up.
Yeah.
And you limit the risk of what
Yeah, you
you're
gotta limit
doing.
the risk.
And that's the whole key behind this thing.
Yeah.
So what my fundamental analysis of the market in the long run
Mhm.
is that we are about to embark on the longest duration and longest magnitude
Bull market.
of Bitcoin
Woo!
will ever have. That this is the big one.
Dude.
But I don't, you know.
You think we're just gonna go straight to what? Like what?
No. Well, I don't think it's kind of meaningless, because what
Yeah.
what do you measure it in?
Yeah, what do you
If you become the standard,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
really not. You know,
Yeah,
okay,
When-
what's
when-
$1 million
Yeah,
based on paper?
Yeah.
It's already
yeah,
overvalued.
yeah. What I'm trying to tell you is that when we get there, you won't have to sell your Bitcoin. It's Morpheus meme.
Exactly.
Morpheus meme. For the OGs, you'll see that. You've seen that meme.
Well, or you just need to sell a little bit and get a whole lot for what you originally
Right.
spent, and that's
Oh, yeah.
basically what it boils down to. So it's, I don't know how to explain it, because when we were driving back from the airport, I explained this. Look, guys, do you remember between November and December, Bitcoin was at its lows. It was under $7,000, and I was offering the newsletter at half price. So basically, you got a lifetime subscription for what, $200 or $300. You know, now if you want a lifetime subscription, you know, it's $1,000.
Mm-hmm.
But it turned out to be a win-win. It was a win to the subscribers, because they could get the newsletter at a very low price. You guys that were promoting it and were using your referral codes, you all got a little stipend. Some of you guys referred more. They've already got their subscription back. They referred 10 or more people.
That's great.
I mean, incredible. And then, so they got a good deal. The people that bought it got a good deal. And since I'm hodling, I got a good deal. So, because, you know, basically I'm, you know, the credit card expenditures that I had back there in December are just now being paid off. So I'm paying off my credit card expenditures, you know, that were 7,000 with 10,000 out of Bitcoin. Now, that's not too bad.
Isn't that great?
So that's
I love it when I have Bitcoins in my wallet, right? And then I spend money. I move some money to spend it. A week later, I look at it and I have the same amount of money. It's the best thing ever. It's just money just appears out of nothing. It's great. But it's not nothing.
So,
Very important stuff.
all right. Well, we polished off a bottle of wine, and let's see if there's any
Bitcoin is
questions.
awesome.
What do we need to answer here?
Don't forget your meat.
That's right. Don't forget your meat.
Let me go check the grill real quick.
Okay.
I'm cooking a brisket.
We're smoking some meat right now.
Yeah, not smoking.
Brisket. No, it's not smoking anymore.
It should be all right.
Wow. Ugly's trying to get me drunk, I think. I'm okay with this. This is a big glass. Jesus. We're celebrating. We're celebrating that tomorrow's Valentine's Day. We want to begin the celebration early. So like, midnight. We want to be in mid celebration. Cheers, Mr. Dumbo. How are y'all doing? Cheers, Edward Park. Thank you for being in the house. I'm looking at the chat right now. What else? What is the most interesting thing to you guys about Bitcoin right now? What's cool? What's going on? Are y'all bullish or what? What's happening? Talk to me. What's the coolest Bitcoin website you've seen recently? I'm just asking
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, let's see if people feel like
Hey,
saying anything.
no,
or I'm
we
gonna
can't
be
keep
just
up on it.
left
You
to
guys
hang
keep,
here,
you guys
left to
keep me
dry.
informed. You guys send me messages. I appreciate it. I really do. I try and read them all,
Yeah.
particularly if you hit me on Twitter.
You got 29 people watching. Think about that. 29 people. You couldn't fill a room. You could fill a room. I mean, extremely bullish, says Edward Park. Me too. I'm bullish. Like I'm feeling bullish. Like I was feeling bullish at the beginning of the last bull market. Like no, I'm not quite at like full rocket ship yet, but I think we've broken we hit the bottom. I think we're on our way up. Anyway, what do I know? But I'm in. I'm all in.
Well,
Yeah.
the problem isn't being bullish or bearish. The problem
is risk management
if
stuff.
you're if you're sitting here, you can be super bullish, but if you get blown out, you're going to miss on it.
Yeah,
I will
exactly.
say this: the breakout that we had, the first of the most significant breakout we had was April 1st of last year. That was the big one, and
Crypto savvy.
I traded it well up through then, and I really haven't been on the mark. And some of my rules, I should have never traded over the holidays. That reversal in the first part of January is extremely bullish. Yeah, I mean, we should continue on up. We have set up that pattern of what I call the flying W. We should just continue to go up to contract highs. But there's something I don't like about this market, and I know what it is that I don't like about it. And I got trapped in it. And that is the alt. It's the alt rally. This thing's got to go on its own. So I am keeping a close eye on the Bitcoin.
Yeah, the alts are bumping. It's true.
The Bitcoin dominance. I think that
it's like a shark, and then the sucklings that just attach to the bottom of it. Granted, the sucklings do clean the shark, so that might not be a good analogy, but.
And I don't know if I can do it, guys, but I'm hoping that I can take because I've done it. I'm hoping that I believe it or not, I sweat my trading more now, trading just a little bit because I'm publishing it all for you guys to see than when I had large positions.
Right.
Because I don't want to mislead people, yet I want to show you that, hey, if you're disciplined and you use the correct trading principles, you can take a very small amount of Bitcoin and run it into a fortune. But and you do have to analyze your trading, guys. My newsletter, the things that you're going to learn the most from is not my successful trades, but my unsuccessful trades and why they were unsuccessful.
Right.
And that's what I do more than anything. I say, man, did I screw this up? And then I try and show you where. Yeah. And it all boils down to, just a few things like, my fundamental analysis of the market clouded the technical. And the bottom line, technical is timing. Fundamentals are great. You have to have that. Look, I'm fundamentally bullish Bitcoin. In fact, so you always want to make sure you're long. I mean, I got kind of pissed off at this one guy, Bitcoin Tina, because he said I recommended going short, and I've never recommended going short Bitcoin. That's not what you do. I do recommend that you hedge. I do recommend that you sell at times. But I've never, ever since I bought my first Bitcoin, I've always had Bitcoin.
Yeah.
The size of my hodl has varied, but that's about it.
So somebody says they enjoyed your Crypto Savvy interview, live stream with Crypto Savvy. Who's this? Crypto Savvy? Is that? Do you know a guy called Crypto Savvy?
I think that was last
Crypto Savvy.
couple weeks ago back.
Yeah. Who's
cool? A couple of weeks ago, maybe. Cool.
Crypto Savvy interview.
Ooh, Cesar's
in
the house.
Yeah, he's a guy.
Thank you,
Yeah,
That
Mr.
was what
Cecil.
we did.
Good
That
to
was
see you.
all radio, wasn't it?
Yeah, something.
Missing you over here.
Okay, I'll have to send that link out
Yeah.
again because that was a good interview. That
Yeah,
was a really good. I think it's in some island in the
It was
Indian Ocean.
short.
Oh, really?
It was interesting.
Yeah, it was a very
It's an
good. One.
interesting show. That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. Hey, Ed, if you have the link to that, go ahead and put it on the live stream so people can see it, and maybe I can tweet it out because that was a good interview. I agree with that. You know, one of the best things that we had going was the Goat Lady had a conference for embroidery up in LA. And so I decided, you know what, I got a lot of followers up in the LA area. So I just had a very informal one-on-one and just at a coffee shop, and 3 people showed up and they were able to pull a lot out of me, you know, that I just wouldn't, because they were, you know, it was just a relaxed conversation. We were there having fun. And that's what I want to do here at Unconfiscatable. I don't really have, you know, I haven't put together a,
You're a bad teacher or something.
and I am a bad teacher. So I haven't put together any, you know,
Well, I think
organized program or something, which is incidentally, that's something that we want to do with this Bitcoin Standard Academy. I want this to be not just trading. That's going to be part of it. We're actually going to take, we're actually closing down our store because we have this kind of big store that has a picture window and everything. We're probably going to move that into a trading room and have all kinds of screens on there. I really don't need, I only trade off my laptop, but you know, you guys like, and we can, I can have multiple screens up at once. So you can see all the indicators that I look at on one screen, but they'll all be up there. And I can really probably trade better if I just, you know, by using it.
Well, I'd like to see you in your natural sort of state of trading, like just, you know, I like to see you just do like sit down and just watch. I want to do that. I want to just record your trading, or at least I think people would be interested in documenting what you do and then figuring it out ex post facto, and then that can be like a side thing from. Yeah, and I need to get into other markets too. I mean, I've found out I had a little retirement program, not much, but a little bit in there, and so I got it somehow taken out. So I'm going to hopefully it's a pain transferring funds between these institutions, but I want to do that and maybe start trading a few other things like gold. Guys, I will tell you this. I was watching Socrates today, and he you know, said, and he said this is a major, you know, buy signal on gold, and I agree with him. I said the number 2 investment is after Bitcoin right now. I think it's going to be gold. Yeah, and probably. So I do recommend and Tesla. No, Tesla just went parabolic. I know, but Tesla's overrated. Yeah, you're not an Elon Musk fan. That was a number. No, Tesla's is toast. Tesla's toast. Tesla's toast. Oh man, you heard it here, folks. I think it's butter. I don't know anything about Tesla. You know what? I just like everything Elon Musk does. Tesla, that move up was like when Bitcoin went to 20,000. That was a parabolic. Yeah, that was the. It's done. It's done. It's done. It's done. I'd be very surprised if that high there. Yeah, it's done. No, don't get caught up in that crap. Don't get caught up in that crap. Somebody says only big money can make big money. Small money can't make big money unless invested in lottery. You're wrong. Who's that? This is just me, no one else. Wow. All right, just me. He's got a Pepe the Frog. I like your style, mate. All right. Hey, just me, no one else. We need a Pepe the Frog. You really need to go subscribe to my newsletter or go read that Medium article because you don't get it. And let me tell you, I'll sum it real simply. He's done it twice now. There's a whole lot of large traders. And in fact, I will say not even a whole lot, most. You just don't hear about them because they're gone, they're toast. But there's a lot of large traders that become small traders. And you know what? It's yet to be seen, but Jihan Wu may be one of those. You know, at least in his trading, he's maybe made it in other parts. Well, he has to because of his hedging, but he's basically, you know, buying the big cash and selling Bitcoin. Yeah, it was a disaster. And you know, Roger Ver is another one of those that could become. Now, these are people that are well-known large traders that can become small, but there's a lot of large traders that aren't well-known that become small. Now, most small traders remain small traders, but there are a few of us small traders that become large traders.
And my philosophy is not only the wise small trader voluntarily chooses to become a small trader again. I have no problem
That's how you make it. So you take
taking
money out.
$5,000 or $10,000 and running it into several $100,000 or even $1 million. It can be done. Okay. But the problem is it takes a tremendous amount of discipline, and we all tend to fall victim to the King Kong complex. Once we're making it, we think it's because we're so smart.
Yeah, arrogance.
And yeah, it's arrogance, and we think we're smart, and not giving deference to we're not that smart. We're just it's certain principles that you follow that will lead to that success.
Yeah, I really like the money management and stuff you've been talking about. You recommended a book, and I listened to it. The art of execution.
The art of execution is really
excellent.
And the reason that's such a good book is because this guy is not a trader himself. He's a fund manager, and so his job was to go around and to find traders to manage millions or even billions in funds.
Yeah.
And so by doing that, he found the succtasuccessful ones.
Yeah, he did like a 6-year research study with like data and interviews and like he categorized all the strategies, the ones that work, the ones that don't work. Excellent book.
Yeah, and he basically knocked it down that there were certain principles that successful traders had in common, and unsuccessful traders had these, he called them rabbits. I think he calls the successful ones.
Wolves,
one was assassins,
the hunters,
and hunters.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's basically, and there were terms in there.
The
he actually had terms in there I was unconsciously doing, but I didn't know what trimming was.
Right.
And, and it's, I do that all the time. And trimming is just basically once you get a position, you trim it, you take some out. And that's what saving is. And that's why I teach.
What I like to see? I mean, maybe this is just I'm a noob on BitMEX. Like I've been trading on different exchanges for years, like everybody in crypto. But I'd like to see how you use BitMEX in the sense of like, how do you actually trim? Like, what do you mechanically do? Because BitMEX is a pretty complex exchange. Like there's a lot of buttons and a lot of things going on.
I usually just scale. I just, the problem that I have is I either, particularly in a down market, either you're priced way out or you're priced too low. Very few times you get it just right. Scale in. But so the most important, and that's why I want to emphasize the equity. What I emphasize is not so much the chart of where the market is going, but your own equity, because it really doesn't matter where the market's going. It has no effect on you. The only thing that has an effect on you is your own personal equity. And so that's what you should be charting. And very few people do that. There are people that do it, but that's what the equity app is, just a tool that we've devised so you can it's automatically done for you. And
Cecil says on this point, says Ugly was the first to teach people not to lose money as the way to make money. No indicator for that. That is why it is so hard. Trust me, I know.
That's a good, very good summary of what very, very good.
Yeah, you minimize your losses and you stay with your wins. It's one of the ideas in that book, and that I've learned from Ugly, from all the stuff he writes and stuff. Rule number 1 of BitMEX: don't get liquidated.
No, I don't have a problem getting liquidated. You don't want it to be a regular event. In fact, sometimes a liquidation is a way to put in a stop loss. But I don't think getting getting liquidated is bad if that's all you have. That should not be. But if you get liquidated, it's a small part of your total portfolio. Hey, you limited your loss. That's the overall. Yeah, apparently it's more efficient, if you get stopped out than liquidated. But I'm not convinced of that either. The whole thing is limit your loss. That's the most important thing.
Limit your loss and run your winners, right? That was the
and letting your winners ride are one of the hardest things to do.
It's tough, yeah.
And I have one old article on Medium. I think it's probably on the website too. That establishing a position is the hardest thing to do in trading.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. Yeah,
and it is. It is very, very difficult.
What's the wine, Ugly? What are we drinking?
Not a very good one.
Yeah. It's good. It's working
It's
for
all
me.
right, but I had some Nieblo Mexican, which is very good. Nieblo El Aceto. This is Argentina Malbec. It's not bad, but it's not. We're not drinking any.
Yeah.
We're
This is
we're
bear market
working.
wine.
We're working now. We're not celebrating.
Right.
Now tomorrow night is Valentine's Day, so tomorrow night we have to have the good one.
Yeah, this is bear market wine.
Okay. Is it better to once than stop?
Is it better to be liquidated once than stop loss fitted many times?
Well, I don't trade with stops, so, and I'm comfortable not trading with stops, but I never have.
Yeah, it's really interesting how you do it. You have multiple positions at the same time, and they're all on cross. You're not even like, as far as I can tell, you're not on leveraged. You're just multiple cross positions.
No,
which
I never,
It's like magic to me.
very few times. And only time, sometimes if I know I'm not going to be around the market, I might, move up
Mhm,
that little margin indicator and so forth. But
mhm.
I just, and you have to have room. You don't want to get caught on these spikes.
Mhm. Right. Yeah.
And so that's the whole thing. You don't want to be, if you're using stops, you're just kind of setting yourself. In fact, you can probably show, like, selling Bitcoin and selling all these markets was the right thing to do last night. I noticed. As you notice, we can go look at a chart. Let's go look at a chart.
Yeah, we have the charts.
Let's see if I can probably show it on Bitcoin.
Do you want this one?
Let's see if we. Oh yeah,
You want BitMEX?
no, that's big. This is BitMEX on
No,
there.
if we can get BitMEX in here.
Are you screen sharing?
Not yet.
Okay, yeah. Let me.
keep
I'll
the-
log
keep-
into my.
keep the show going.
Let me. Yeah, go ahead and I'll. Oh, this is your phone. Let me log into my BitMEX account. And I'll log in.
Sure. I have an idea.
Oh, just go to Bitcoin Wisdom. We hit BitMEX that way.
Alright, sure.
That's even better. Okay, now we can go here.
You got to share the screen now.
Yeah, wait till I find it though.
What do you think about this? And you guys let us know if you think this is a good idea, and we'll do it. I would like to. What if we live streamed you trading on like the 1 minute chart for like an hour?
Oh, I don't think that's not. That's,
Wouldn't that be
okay,
fun?
here's a good one.
I feel like that'd be really exciting.
Here's a good one. Okay, I don't know. You want a screen share now? Can you do that?
Yes, I got it. There we go. Got it.
All right. So I noticed this one today. This
Right?
is pretty.
I'm down too.
Yeah. I mean, see that spike? What we went 10,005.
Damn, that's
Yeah.
a spike.
So basically, we had guys that got short the market correctly. I mean, that was a pretty good move. And then they put their stop above the high. Well, you know what?
Oh my God, that candle.
That's just
crazy.
you're telegraphing. Okay, you can't do that. You gotta let it play out. And that is just a typical move where they spiked you out of a good.
But
short
okay,
trade.
but how do other traders know where your stops are?
Because everybody puts their stops
right above
highs or below lows.
Wow.
That's where the stops are.
Right.
Okay. So, where are the stops? Well,
Right.
Oh, I got a nice winning position. I'll put a stop
Yeah,
here
of
now. I
course.
move my stop down. Okay.
Right.
Good. Glad you did, because we're going to run it
Thanks.
up there, and
Yeah.
we're going to take over your short position,
Right.
and you're going to take a small loss, and we got the big winner.
Right.
And that's just basically how it works. And it's not rigged. It's not like,
Wow.
it's not like,
It's just the market.
it's
man.
just the market. It's
Yeah.
not like it's not like the deck is broadcast. It's not, perhaps, but even so, it's just the way the markets work, and you have to realize that that's what happens.
Right.
So,
Do you think is there any market makers like in BitMEX that, like, does anybody have? I mean, in theory, it's possible that somebody has access to the order books, like the unpublished order books, but
well, they could, but does it really even make a difference?
right. I don't know.
You know, I
guess
because
you were already like, like it's predictably. Yeah.
well, that's right. I mean, and yeah, I mean, that's just a very typical example of somebody, you know, that
That's fascinating.
got short correctly, but wound up taking a loss. I mean, if they sold this little rally up in here, or if they sold the dip, the first, then I look at now this is the 30-minute. And so, you know, once it took out this, right there on this flag, on that red flag, you could have gone short. But it's really difficult because most of the time when that happens, it just reverses. So you have to know which is the one where it's going to continue on down. And that's, you know, that's just part of the game. And I just, you know, I haven't seen people that trade with stops be successful. Show me somebody, I mean, for market entries particularly. And yeah, I mean, because, and that's what everybody is looking for is a trade they go into and they have no adversity. And your chances of getting that kind of a trade
are really, really
slim. Just really, you know, and particularly if you're doing it on a breakout, you're much more likely to, you know, to have that happen. You can do it when certain things present themselves. And that's sort of why I'm not trading now. I'm waiting. I said, you know what? I'm going to wait till something pops up that's really good. The thing that has popped up that's been really good was all good all last year was when we went into backwardization. If you bought the market when the market went into backwardization, you usually only had about 30 minutes, maybe at the most an hour to get into the market because it was the low. That was it. Now it might have gone down there and tested it a second time, a little lower, a little higher.
Well, so for noobs like me who are not sure what backwardization is, can you explain what that means and what?
Definitely an amateur market back there in 2016 because it was at backwardization for a prolonged months, and it would get wider. Like went from 200 like to $400 backwardization, and the amateur traders like, well, that's bearish because the futures are lower than the spot, so it's going down. And I said, no, the futures are lower than the spot. That's bullish because the smart money is selling the spot. They can sell it, get their cash, and buy the futures, and they're ahead $400. So it's really strong buying. And, you know, I was just, you know, at the time I didn't have a website. I was on BitMEX and I was in the chat room.
Okay, hang on. So the futures are lower than the spot. That means that the futures markets are very bearish, and that's a really good
That's not bearish. That's bullish. But yeah, but people, the average guy thinks it's bearish.
Okay.
Because you're thinking of it because you don't understand the market.
Okay, but it's the price of the futures is lower because people that are trading on that futures market
they think it's going down. Yeah, they're bearish.
Right.
They think it's going down.
So the whales sell the spot and buy.
But the fundamentals, what it is, what's going on there? Oh, you guys want to play this game? Yeah, okay, sell some more because I'm going to buy it. I'll sell my spot and buy the futures. I'll buy. You think it's going lower in the future? I'll give.
You're just widening the spread between the two.
All you're doing is widening. And so the guys that have the Bitcoin are selling their Bitcoin and buying the futures and locking in that backwardization.
Right, and that's a rare event and usually just returns
it should
to above.
Never happen.
It should never happen.
Never happen. And it's just stupidity, you know.
Oh, that's amazing.
And it was going stupidity that was, you know, broadcast from, and you know, I would write about it. That's when I decided, you know what, that's when I found Medium because I needed, you know.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here, and that's like, guys, don't ever go to a chat room to trade. Don't listen to. I'm a member of so many chat rooms, but I don't pay attention to any of them.
Yeah,
it's
a shit storm.
You can't trade. You can't trade. You got to learn to trade. You can't do it through a chat room.
Yeah, you can't do it through other people unless it's some magical technical solution. Okay, let's read the chat real quick. Cecil says contracts are $540 premium right now. So that means that's how much, like, futures are $540 more expensive.
Yeah.
More expensive
Yeah.
than spot. Okay. All right. Ron DC says it's a shakeout wick. Yeah, that's pretty brutal. Somebody says I tried. Wait. There's an XRP one here. Somebody was pointing out that XRP had a crazy wick. Oh yeah. Did you see the red candle on Ripple BitMEX yesterday? Brutal. Yeah, I heard people got stopped out hardcore on that.
Pull it up. Can you
XRP
pull it up?
is such a scam. I can't believe people pump this
Pull
stuff.
it up. I don't know.
Shameless, man.
Guys, I am bearish, particularly on the shit coins, and that's why I just not on the bandwagon. Even though technically Bitcoin looks great, it doesn't feel great.
Jesus. This is the 30-minute on. Let's zoom out a little bit, see if we can get some actual data. This is XRP. This should be XRP.
Oh, just go. You know what? Just go to BitMEX.
BitMEX funding. Oh, this is BitMEX funding. Okay.
No, don't go. Just go to BitMEX and
XRP USD or XRP BTC.
No, if you go to the BitMEX, they have everything that's on BitMEX is on Bitcoin Wisdom.
I think we're fine here.
Okay.
So that's the wick. Which one? This one?
Eddie, are you here?
That was pretty steep, I guess.
Can you turn out those lights? I can't see the chart.
Yeah. It's volatile. Yeah.
Oh, much better. Turn off the other light too. I can't see anything with those lights on.
Can you soften them? It's too dark. Maybe just
that's all right. They're screen sharing anyway.
That's true. Yeah, just turn it off.
Turn it down. Turn it off. Yeah.
So this is the 1 hour. Oh boy. And then
now XRP, what is that? Ripple?
This is Ripple, yeah. Let's do 1 day. Oh God.
Nothing.
How wrecked
Nothing.
It's a fucking
look, these guys.
Christ.
Look, guys.
And I'm getting shit from Ripple fans on social media.
You know what? This is a pathetic rally. And maybe you guys really think you're going to blow out on the upside? Well,
that's so funny.
Good luck.
So funny.
The problem is it's scary. You don't want to go. I mean, who's the guy in Vietnam? He said there's a guy that trades these altcoins a lot. Yeah, you never want to go short the. You never want to go short the alts because the problem is they're thin. They're highly. They own a lot. They're centralized, and so somebody can rock and roll you.
All right, let's see if we can get a Ripple chart here.
Okay, yeah, we don't have to go on mine. We just go.
No,
Make it bigger.
Go
to 4 hour or go to 1 hour. 1 hour is good. Or 30-minute. What? That's what they're talking about. Oh my God.
Oh wow.
That was a BitMEX. That's BitMEX.
So
that's BitMEX.
Jesus Christ.
And
oh my goodness.
God. Oh my God.
Jesus. I got to turn the volume off on this thing. Can't even see the wick because it's so. Look at that.
Oh my gosh.
So
that is a sign. That's pointing.
That's amazing.
The direction of where it's going. All right.
That's people dumping, terrified.
That's terror right there. And that eventually that's where we will be going. Wow. But God.
Unreal.
Now let's see if we can do I don't see.
I'm getting drunk. This is great.
What? We've only shared a bottle of wine. You had 2 glasses of wine. You shouldn't be. I didn't know.
I'm a strong holder of sobriety.
Well, that's fine. Okay. I'm trying to find the underlying spot. Okay. Let me go to here and see if I can. Okay. So I don't see the underlying spot on the Ripple. Where is that?
Jesus.
Oh, it's right.
Oh my God. I need a screenshot of that.
Oh my God. Now, the thing is,
fanboy.
Right, but you didn't get stopped out on this on BitMEX unless you used to stop.
Yeah, unless you used to stop.
If you used a liquidation, you didn't get out.
But if you're leveraged 3x or 5x,
because the spot the spot never went down there. The spot let's see if we can do a shorter term. Let's look at 30-minute.
But let's get a bigger chart because this is embarrassingly small.
Well,
click this
yeah, I
one.
need. Well, we'll just go like this and make it bigger. There we go. And we can bring it down. Yeah, I hate the standard way.
Yeah,
Okay.
I like the way you do it too.
Okay, now look, guys, if you let's move this
let's
down
move
here.
that thing. Yeah, Zoom's getting in the way.
And you know what? And
somebody Toby says, I tried no stops before I met you, and again after. If you aren't around when there's a big move against you, it can be pretty painful.
Okay, yeah.
And then somebody said that trailing stops were cool. I don't know how you do trailing.
Well, the problem with trailing any stop is that you're not, if you use a stop and it's not a stop limit, you don't know where you're going to get filled. Let's go look at this. Look, you didn't get stopped out if you had a liquidation. You only got stopped out if you had a stop, because they don't liquidate you based on the futures price. They liquidate you based on the spot. So let's go back. Let's go back on this thing. Let's go to a smaller time frame. Let's go look at 15-minute. There it is.
Jesus.
You never got stopped out if you had a liquidation in there.
Really?
No, because the liquidation is not based on this price. It's based on this price here.
Mark price.
It's based on the mark price. And so let's go even shorter time frame. Let's go look at 5. And that's why they have it that way. It's kind of preventative measure.
Wow.
Here it is. See, this was just,
wow.
This could have been, actually, if you guys don't understand, this can also be a fat finger trade.
Right.
Somebody could have accidentally hit a market.
Hit market sell or something like that. Yeah.
And, I've had fast finger trades, the fat finger trades. And, those are.
That sucks. Yeah.
Okay. So here, let's go back. Where is this thing? Probably.
There,
look, it didn't even last a minute.
It's a blip.
It's a blip. If you had a stop in, you got stopped out.
That's amazing. Yeah.
If you had a liquidation,
right,
you didn't get stopped out.
It could have been an error. Yeah, it could have been a fat finger thing. So yeah, so liquidation doesn't get triggered. Like if you have a liquidation range at 250,
and never got hit
of this shitcoin,
right?
Then it doesn't stop you.
No, you didn't get stopped out.
Fun fact. That's
you got stopped out. Okay. If you had a stop in there, you got out.
You got out.
And the problem is you could have a stop way up here, just under the market, right here, but you didn't get stopped out to the very bottom because it took you. Stops. You just you need to learn to trade without.
Yeah. So weird question. Like, let's say you have 2 computers and 2.
Liquidation is better than stops. Now, people they write articles. Oh, it's going to cost you more by liquidation. Well, kind of, but there's an upside to it too. Plus, and they said, well, you're contributing to BitMEX's insurance fund. Well, that's part of the genius of Arthur Hayes because he figured this out. You guys don't understand. I used to trade futures, and when you had a futures, there was no liquidation. When you got stopped out, you can have a bad fill way below the market and all of that, and you still owed. I could get stopped out and wind up, I walk in the morning, I have an equity, of 100,000 in the account. I get stopped, time I get stopped out, I owe 300,000. Now you got it, and you're still got to meet that margin, that 300,000. And that's happened to me before. So you guys don't understand how better the markets are today than they were, back, 30, 40 years ago.
Right.
They just a lot more efficient. And Arthur Hayes, my hat off to you. Every time I say it, I take my hat off because Arthur Hayes deserves.
Oh, they're not looking at us.
Well, okay, they're not looking. Okay, but Arthur Hayes, we take our hat off. Arthur Hayes, we take your hat off to you because you have definitely innovated, brought in some great innovation into the markets that people don't appreciate, but this old timer does. Okay.
He's helped me realize how good BitMEX is. It's true. It's like they don't trade fiat. They don't trade any altcoins, any shit coins. It's all Bitcoin. And it lets you do stuff that it's incredible. Like it's a little bit hard to, like, there's a learning curve to get into. Like I've traded in every exchange except BitMEX until like 6 months ago. And then I started trading BitMEX, and now I really like it. Like it's an excellent exchange.
Well, I
Especially-
guarantee all the big boys are on BitMEX.
Yeah. Well, it's one of the deepest exchanges by volume.
It is
now.
they
I
don't
think
even
it's
put
one-
it on because
It dwarfs
when
volume.
it dwarfs it so much
Yeah.
they actually took it off the charts.
on CoinMarketCap.
Yeah, because it makes
Really?
it all how it shows you how small the other exchanges are.
Right. Yeah. BitMEX is huge. It's great.
So it
Um,
just
Mr. Just Me, no one else says Ugly is so right. The biggest killer of any chance to win on the market is wrongly set stop losses.
hit it.
I've gotten wrecked on stop losses many a times. So
I
I'm
don't use them.
starting to
I mean, I
embrace
just
that.
don't use them. Better to get wrecked than stopped out.
Yeah. Cecil says people got liquidated even using stop loss. Some of them didn't not get triggered, and some of them used stop limit and that didn't work. Okay. Yeah, I was trading around 30 cents and it flash crashed 13 cents.
What?
Oh
What?
my gosh.
What? So
I guess Toby was trading XRP and it says, yeah, I was trading around 30 cents and flash crashed to about 13 cents. That's 60%.
wow.
Crash.
So what happened, Toby? Were you long or short? And what
Yeah,
happened?
it's starting to smell.
Did you get
Meat.
stopped out?
Should we turn it off? You want to turn it off? The meat's starting to. I'll just talk shit here real quick. What's happening, everybody? Yeah. So XRP, man. I was gonna say, like, you could, if you're a whale, like, let's say you have, I mean, I don't know, a few $100,000, a few $1 million, I don't know, and oh Jesus Christ, it looks like Armageddon out there. Wow, is the meat just a big hunk of carbon now? Okay, good. Jesus, can you see this? Can you see the smoke? We were barbecuing. Anyway, so let's say you got a few $1 million to trade with, right? You can just have 2 laptops with VPNs. You don't even need VPNs. You create 2 BitMEX accounts, and with one of them you short, and with the other one you just do a massive XRP dump, right? And then anybody that gets triggered gets called, right? And then so the short populates it, and then you can just buy back in or what? Anyway, you can just manipulate the market. Jesus Christ! Hang on a second. All right. Technical difficulties. I wish I had a screenshot. Let me just see what's going on here. What's happening? Fire. Here, use this. There is definitely not a fire in the barbecue right now. That's not happening. There's no fire in the barbecue right now. Oh my god. Oh crap. It's bad. Oh my god. It's like a cloud. I feel like I'm in a cloud. That's so funny. Careful with my mug, Ugly. That's my favorite mug. He's using my mug to put out the fire. That's my favorite mug, Ugly. Careful. We really need a camera on the go right now, but it would unplug us from the live stream. Okay. You gotta see that. You gotta see the smoke. This is great. Can you see the outside?
Almost burned down the house.
That's all smoke. You see that smoke? It's not that it's cold or chilly. That's barbecue smoke right there. Amazing.
Well, this should still be good.
You don't get entertainment like this anywhere else, ladies and gentlemen. If we had a laser, you could see right through everything. Okay. That's right. At least the meat will be smoked. Okay, we just gotta zoom out again because you don't want to look at my pores with this level of zoom. It's not what you're here for. All right. Can you hear us? Hello. Test. 1, 2, 3. Can you hear us? Muted. Uh-oh. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Can you hear us?
Probably press the button.
Is this supposed to be like going click, 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 or no?
No, it's like that.
It's like, this is good.
That's good.
Okay, I guess we're back now. Cool. Cool. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's saying. Okay, great. Yeah, sorry about that. Oh, did you miss the whole fire thing? Sound returns. Oh no. Oh no. Did you miss the whole entertainment about the fire? Oh. Yeah, we were barbecuing. It's now a roast. What was the last thing you guys heard? Anyway, we lost like 5 listeners in there. There was a fire, and then there was a spike in viewership, and then it's down.
It went down.
It went down. Yeah.
It happened.
It's not bad. It's not bad. We're at 30. All right, so that's great. I don't know where Ugly is. Ugly's left. It's been a great show. What do you guys want us to do coverage on? What do you guys want us to talk about on this show? We need to hear the fire fiasco. They want to hear. Bud Thompson is curious about the fire fiasco. Did you see the smoke? That was crazy. Yeah. He grabbed my favorite mug and then went and poured the water on it with it. But my favorite mug is great. It's fine. So that's the good news. Right. He's got a big barbecue, so everything is fine. No fire, just smoke. That's right. Just like XRP. No, I said we heard all of it. Okay, great. Excellent. Excellent. That's good to hear. Yes. Yes. So what should we talk about? What's interesting to you guys? Anything in the fundamentals, anything in the market, any scams, any controversy on crypto Twitter? You're all on crypto Twitter, right? What should we talk about on the next show? Ding 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 ding. Ding 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 ding. Nobody has anything of interest. Cool. Great. That's awesome.
Well, I don't have any more wine, but I found this.
Oh boy.
Leftover.
Big boys are
Hornitos.
coming out. This is Ugly and Juan Galt wasted live.
No, we're not wasted.
Just kidding.
You had 2 glasses. I mean, a little. You up for tequila or not?
I'll have a shot.
Okay.
1 token pump.
So
1 token. Yeah, that's right. So wait, 1 token? I'm thinking of OneCoin. We were talking about the OneCoin lady the other day.
yeah, they haven't found her yet.
They haven't found the girl from OneCoin? The lady from OneCoin?
Still looking for the doctor.
That's amazing. I mean,
Yeah, that really is. It's just
she's probably in the Philippines in a hole hiding, you know? Like, where do you go? Like if you want, if you're like she's got to plan it out. She had to have planned it out.
oh
pretty
yeah,
well.
oh yeah.
Yeah. It was pretty obvious that it was a scam. I quit drinking alcohol. Hey guys, have fun. Thanks, man. Cheers. Enjoy
All
your
right,
holiday.
so where's my glasses? In my pocket, maybe.
Mhm.
Let me go find them.
Amazing.
My glasses laying
It's
around
been
here.
like 3 years since OneCoin ended. Like 2 years. I was at La Bitcoin in Bogota when that happened. I remember a guy. Yeah, where this is pink tequila. You see a little. Actually, just tequila with tiny leftover wine. Tequila, Mexico, man. It's the best. Tequila's awesome. It's the only alcohol that's an upper. At least feels like an upper. I don't know about you. Do you feel that? If you drink tequila, it's a little bit like a stimulant.
Well,
No, some people report it
I don't
does.
know, it's only
Mm.
it's really. I'm really not much on. I've always liked beer. And wine,
Ah,
but the only
yeah,
the
it's
only
delicious.
hard alcohol
Wow.
I've liked is tequila.
Tequila is great. Yeah. If you ever go to Colombia, the tequila of Colombia is called aguardiente, and it's a sugarcane alcohol that it's just delicious. Like, I should have brought a bottle, but it's very much like tequila. It's sugarcane based, and it's very tasty. This is really good. Really good tequila.
All right.
Vase.
Well, this is not that great of tequila, but
Mhm.
this is. But it's not a bad
Yeah,
one either. It's,
tasty, yeah.
I
Cool.
like the
I'm creating 2
Coriolis
coins.
the best.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
Shibli says, I'm creating 2 coins just for the hell of it. Then I might have to disappear as well. Start planning.
2 coin. Wow.
coin.
Did he? Maybe we ought to
Well,
Maybe,
we're getting three
you know,
coin. We're getting three coin right now.
I
We're gonna
heard
drop this.
I've heard this Shipley's a pretty good developer.
Who? Shibli?
We
Yeah.
could, yeah, we could
Shibli,
probably
let's
build
do
a
this.
website and do a voice
The
broadcast.
three of us.
Oh man,
We'll create
And
two
we gotta-
coin and three coin.
But we got to
just
figure
in
out
case.
we got to figure out the exit before.
Yeah, we gotta
start.
have a
We
exit
got, hey,
strategy.
Chip,
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
good to get on this, but
Well,
we got to
let-
have the exit.
we gotta
before
talk about the
start.
exit strategy. Yeah. Yeah. No, yeah. All scams need an exit scam, you know?
All right. So.
Kidding, guys.
Oh, darn.
Darn it. Oh,
I thought we found another
I know.
co-conspirator here. So,
We'll talk in Vegas. Yeah, we'll talk in Vegas after drinks and cards or whatever.
no, guys, if you're listening or if you're listening to this later, this is go to this conference. Okay, it will be
Yeah,
the
Unconfiscatable
most
is gonna be
intense.
great.
I'm going to be there on Wednesday night. It's going to be the most intense Thursday, Friday, and Saturday you've ever had. And if you do the poker, that's fine too. You know, it'll kind of be a relaxing after event.
Yeah.
But it will be just so intense. There's going to be so many people there that you know you're going to be. Even the attendees there are all knowledgeable. So.
Yeah, it's a Bitcoiners conference, a true Bitcoiners conference. It's not a shitcoin conference. There's no ICOs, no shitcoins, no altcoins. It's the people that are the real people and the ideas that started it.
Last year, the only thing that was for sale was Hobbler had his hats there.
Right.
We bought our hats. So, we didn't know.
Right.
We didn't do anything. So the only thing I'm going to have, we'll probably bring our swag and hats, but we'll put it in our I'll just have it in our suite. But there's not, there's sponsors this year. What? There's sponsors this year, so I don't know what that entails. But all the people that are sponsoring are, top notch.
Yeah. Tone Base has led maximalism in a sense, as far as I can tell, and he's not gonna compromise on that.
Well, I don't want to insult Tone by calling him maximalist. He's a Bitcoin standard.
He's the Bitcoin standard bearer. That's right.
Yeah. We're trying to change. I'm just kind of a one-man crusade.
Can we call it like a Bitcoin standard buller?
Buller, okay, that's fine.
I think that's
but
better.
But at any rate, I'm kind of a one-man crusade, but a lot of people have picked up on it. I know Bitcoin Motors has. But the problem
I think people need to understand what it means.
Yeah.
Like I struggle to some degree to understand what it means, but I also do understand it, right? So it's using Bitcoin as a denomination despite custody in a sense, you know, like.
And it's just that we don't want to use the terminology of the opposition. Bitcoin maximalist was created by
Vitalik.
And it was meant as an insult. But because we're so strong in our position, we took it as okay, exactly. That's what we are. We embraced it.
Yeah.
But what we really need to do is take control of the dialogue and the narrative.
Yeah.
And so Bitcoin standard bearer, in my estimation, takes it. In other words, they're having a much harder time putting us into a box. It's more that we're putting them into a box. And so it's just a matter of controlling the dialogue and controlling terminology. It's
very
an
important
thing.
Very important.
And so that's why I don't like, and that's why I don't consider myself part of the crypto world. I'm a Bitcoin standard bearer because I don't want to be all the bad things that the crypto world has given us. I don't want to be a part of that because being a part of the Bitcoin standard hasn't brought any.
Yeah. If you're ever in doubt about the shit coinery and what that means, just go to CoinMarketCap and rank it from lowest price to highest price, and then wait for it to load for about 5 to 10 minutes because it's a very long list. And then you'll see the graveyard of altcoins and shitcoins with a price of question mark that have existed with excellent brands and really top-notch marketing that are dead because they've been dead for 5 years because people don't understand, what the purpose of a currency is. They don't understand economics. They're just experimenting. And the reality that crypto has showed us is that the private sector is way better at creating fake money than the public sector is. It's just not very effective at sustaining it.
I'm not opposed to people, if they want to try and compete with the standard. My only complaint is they always have to ride on the Bitcoin coattail And when they do that, they've already exposed themselves. You know, they have to say, well, we have more features than Bitcoin. We are better than Bitcoin. But they don't understand that Bitcoin, the what they consider to be features is really, or what they consider to be better is really, that's not a bug in Bitcoin. The fact that these features that everybody is writing about, they can all be developed, and they can be developed off chain. Yeah, guys. Okay, I love the developers. I love the whole idea of, you know, having this chain with a fixed supply and with a proof of work and the longest chain, but we still are people, and we have to interact. And so there is such things as trusted third parties.
Yeah. Well, I think,
and, you know, that's how you do business, and that's how you build business. You want, when I started my voice broadcasting business, I couldn't be choosy on my customers because it was
yeah, you gotta make some money. Yeah,
I had to make some money, and even though I thought what the guy was promoting was scammy, I had to take the business. Well, I don't do that in any. I screen all of my clients. You know, if they can't, you know, if they can't be A+ rated on BBB, I don't even want to talk to you, because that's a non-hurdle client.
right.
But it is a hurdle, but it doesn't mean a whole lot. And so, and then after that, I screen them. So once you get established, you can actually be very selective on who you do business with. And then and that's what this is about. I mean, just finding people like in a trade, you could be, whether you're in, like, we built houses, and I'm not for contracting, because my grandfather was a general contractor, and general contractors, their specialty is they go out and find all the subcontractors, and they put it all together, and that's why you go to a general contractor. I found that in printing. I used to print millions of pieces promoting, you know, gold standard, and I would get a typesetter and a color set. I finally learned, you know, I go to one person that does everything from start to finish. It might cost me a little bit more initially, but over the long run, it saves me so much time. It's just, and I try to tell the goat lady is one of the issues I've been trying to teach her. She wants to do everything in shop, and I said, no, sometimes it's better to just hire an expert, because over the long run, he's going to save a lot of time and a lot of money. And I said, and when it comes to buying property, I don't want to build anything. I want to buy it complete, done. Now, it might take time, and I might have to work harder, and I may not get it now. I might not get it till 5 years from now. I think I was talking to you about that. You want to, you know, help your mom out and build her a new house, right? But you were going to get a loan. I said, well, you know what? It'd be better if we can make it in Bitcoin, and you know, you just build her that house. That's the way that's a better way to do it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think the Bitcoin standard is very important. I think one of the limits we have is legality, you know, like what are the legal constraints that we have compared to like the technical constraints? Because that, to some degree, the idea is like, and this is the cyberpunk sort of kind of culture and idealism, there is that if you build it in a trustless way, you can make it more difficult to be legally attacked, right? And you lower the legal cost to some degree. How true that is, I think we'll see in the future, but that's part of the difficulty of being a Bitcoin entrepreneur.
Well, that's part of the difficulty in the world that we live in.
Yeah.
If you go in, like in the real estate market, everybody writes laws to benefit their industry. In the real estate industry, you know, oh, well, you can buy a house and you can deduct the interest that you pay. You know, so now all of a sudden the industry has made it more attractive financially to, you know, play all these little games that are really meaningless and they don't produce anything. It's just a piece of legislation they have in there to benefit their industry. And, you know, that's why, you know, regulation always creates unintended consequences.
Yeah, well, it creates masters and it creates dominant players, and then things kind of turn around. All right, we're like an hour and a half now.
Yeah.
People are dropping off. I think
Yeah,
it's a
we're
good time
done.
to go.
Hey guys, appreciate it. Number one thing, go. We got the
Yeah, it's a good note to end on here. Just me one says, I've been in the space for 9 years, and there's no person as good as Tone. Tone is an excellent guy. Like I haven't, he's been around for a long time. He's a hard worker. He works his butt off, and
yeah, I don't
he's
know.
one of the best Bitcoin evangelists that are out there right now. So I'm very grateful to Tone.
Well, we're going to be going. This guy will be there. He'll be
Yeah, we'll be there.
available. He'll be going to be doing interviews and shows. He's going to be working with Thomas Hunt and the World Crypto Network, and who's just puts on some super stuff.
He's great. He's like a historian. He's like a legit historian. You guys got to check out his stuff. I feel like he's lost some crowd right lately, but you got to go check out his YouTube channel. He's got a great show called The Proof of Work, and he does like little profiles on people that are very interesting in sort of the tech industry.
Yep.
We got this Bitcoin standard bearer, so that's coming up. So keep an eye on that.
Yeah, in my mind, Thomas Hunt should be the MC at any Bitcoin conference.
Yeah, that's right.
Because
He's
he was
great.
the original. I was attracted to him because he was the original Mad Bitcoin.
Mad Bitcoins. Yeah, that hat is awesome.
And
Mad Bitcoins hat.
And that's what we need. We need to have more
Mad
people.
TV.
Mad TV.
He always had fun.
Mhm.
Guys, thanks a lot for coming. Hope to see you at the Unconfiscatable. I've got 12 of these available.
Save and
Hopefully
biddle.
we'll be raising 1 Bitcoin at least for Tyler. And
Beautiful.
then if you want one, if you're not coming to the conference, just order. We'll have them more in 8 weeks, and you can support the cause that way. It'll be great, and you'll have one of these, and you'll be
Beautiful.
participating. Now this one's a little bit different. I don't like the B on this one. It's not quite, but this one, this has the pointer, it has the laser, but we took that out. It's really not very useful. And there's 2 pieces to this, so it stands.
Yeah, when we figure out lightsabers, you'll get a lightsaber version of it.
Yeah, that would be great.
Mhm.
That would be great. Yeah, that'd be great.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yeah, but they haven't done that
Zoom.
yet. We're still waiting.
Yeah, we're working on it. We're
When
working
they
on it.
make that and a hoverboard.
That's in the R&D department. Yeah, and a hoverboard. Yeah. Hoverboard, Bitcoin standard, better.
It's
Staff.
all coming, and it'll be a Bitcoiner that develops the hoverboard.
Definitely.
All right, so long, guys.
Bitcoin rich engineer.
All right.